first of all, I want to say we want to record this event, so we need your permission. If anyone does not agree, please turn off the camera or and erase your name, please. So I will start be welcoming to the coordinators of this project, Professora Luísa Carvalho and Professor Nuno, and the CEO of Demola Global, Vil Cairamo, and all the colleagues from the Demola project. So it's a great pleasure to be able once again to open this EPS workshop. We are intent to promote dialogue and share your experience in the Demola project. It's the third workshop and marks the end of Demola training take place for these 3 years ago with other polytechnics and show the investment of IPS in the innovation methodologies. So I hope that your participation will bring pedagogical innovation to the teaching activity in the promotion of activity success. So building co-creation projects with students and with the regions. So I think this is a very good program, and and the teachers who take these workshops, it's a very good teachers in our institute, and so it's a great pleasure. Vil, I think it's thanks to Demola, thanks to these three years, and the Luísa and Nuno. Thanks again.
Thank you. Vil, would you like to have some words?
Well, of course, and good morning, everyone. Also on my behalf, Luísa, how much time do I have? In a way, just a couple of words or slightly longer, depending.
We gave 10 minutes to each team, so I think you have also 10 minutes.
Okay. Let's try to be short. First of all, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Nuno, as without his active role in keeping the pieces and all the ropes together, like we couldn't have been doing this. So this is, and of course, thanks to all dear facilitator colleagues that like, and great to see you again here, and looking forward to kind of collaborate with you in the future. I was thinking to describe briefly, not to talk about the program as you all know it very well, but like describing the context and the things that are happening in our societies and things that are changing the world at the moment quite rapidly. And meanwhile, we focus on pedagogical innovation within higher education institutions and within our kind of an own field. It's super important to remember we are basically servants for a better society and better world. And if I'm having a look on the ancient ethos of higher education and universities and so on, I think the roles and responsibilities what we have is to have a sincere belief in changing the world to be a better place and challenging the status quo and creating some disruptive thinking in a way, and making sure that things are developing to the right direction. If having a look on what is happening in the world, and I think it's fair enough to say that this is not my opinion, but this is increasingly popular opinion around the world, is that first of all, our society is facing bigger challenges than maybe ever before, and having a look on the climate change as the number one, which is definitely threatening the future of all of us and our children and their children's life, and we have a huge responsibility in contributing to solving these big problems. And like we have been talking during the process so often, when we talk with students and fresh graduates, and if we ask from them is that, what do you sincerely think? How good are you compared to the best talents in the world? Typical answer we get, despite which country we're talking about, is I'm nothing, I'm just a student or just a graduate. Or when asking from the people that, do you think you can solve the biggest problems of our society, they will say, that's too big for me, that's too big of a deal, and I'm just the one person in here. And I think it's our responsibility as facilitators to redefine this, because it's not about, am I or are we able to solve the biggest problems of our society, but it's a continuously increased belief that we can contribute in solving the biggest problems of our society. I know this sounds a bit naive, but when having a look on the cumulative data and a cumulative context of this program and the capacity development we have been coming through. So during the last 2.5 years, there has been 658 Portuguese companies, for example, on board, and 3,991 students have been on board, and quite many of you as dear teachers, 885. And for example, like happy to also say that via our Finnish higher education institutions, we have been granting 34,208 ECTS credit points to Portuguese students and teachers that have been participating. So on behalf of the Finnish government, I once again want to express my sincere gratitude for making this happen. But one thing I want to not bring the dark clouds, but in a way like remind us about the changing landscape of the world. You all have been, I believe, at least if you were in Braganza, you have been receiving your copy of the final of like the training program and the capacity development phase. We put together a data related to trending project topics and insights in Portugal, and we compared those to the things and topics and thematic areas that are trending around the world, if having a look on the companies or having a look on higher education institutions and government. And I think this data looks pretty interesting. So here on the dark color, we see, like the font is too small, but I will read you the couple of things. So in the dark font, we see the things that are trending in Portugal, and with the light color, we see the things trending around the world. And basically what we see here, a big contradiction in what is interesting. And I think here in Portugal, we see a lot of emphasis on tourism, agriculture, food and wine, cultural heritage and identity, and these all are good. But as representatives of higher education institution or an innovation ecosystem, I would be slightly worried that our colleagues and our companies and our students haven't been interested in AI, sustainability, future of work, changing consumer behavior, social transformation, healthcare, data-driven future, or other emerging technologies. And I think this is kind of why I wanted to rise this up, is that this is part of our responsibility in rising the bar. And if we think that how higher education institutions can serve Portuguese companies the best is by stopping serving them. What I mean with this provocative statement is that sometimes listening too much to customers is not the right way to do that. As Henry Ford said on one day, that if he would have been asking from the customers that what type of cars they would have wanted, the customers would have said that I don't want a car, I want a faster horse. And I think our world is coming to this point that all the AI revolution, the changing of future of work, the sustainability transition the things are happening faster than we observe on a daily basis. And I think it's our joint responsibility in making sure that our society is ready for these changes and that we take and utilize these as opportunities. Well, I wanted to bring you this context and also for your conversation this morning. Personally, unfortunately, I'm not able to join. We have our strategy workshop of our management team. But I wanted to bring you this context because it's also important to realize that when we talk about facilitation or innovation projects, it's not something that no, we would be ready. I think none of us will ever be ready to be a facilitator, or the journey is not ending, but it's an ever continuing journey or a saga where every day we can learn new things. Just giving an example of our own Demola global experts, like many of us have been working with the co-creation facilitation for more than 10 years and doing it as a full-time profession. And I think we are only getting started. That's at least what we have the like children, like the curiosity on learning new things and improving the things and having this humble self-confidence on what we do. And I think this is the takeaway I encourage you to come up with from this program, is that thinking and trying to utilize the lessons learned in everyday things you do. Remember the metrics when walking in the room, as we have been discussing many times. Defining how do we observe the behavior of the people we want to see. I think that's part of the facilitation, what we have been talking during the program. But thank you very much from your participation. It has been a fantastic journey, and the journey will not end here. I think this is our international projects are open for every student that wants to participate from any given higher education institution from around the world. And I'm very much forward to see you all in finding the way to participate in our activities, both in Portugal and around the world. But these words, a bit of a rant, things are going to change, and also kind of an encouraging words. Friends, you are the change makers, but you have to take the responsibility in making that happen. If we won't do it, who is going to make it happen? I don't see too many others doing that. So all the expertise you have, all the attitude you have in making the things happen, and even the decision that you have been making to participate in this program, which hasn't been easy, of course, is showing that we are on the right path, and I'm looking forward to continue doing the cooperation with all of you. But at this stage, thank you on my behalf, and I think back to Angela and back to Luisa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Will. I would like also to acknowledge your collaboration during these 3 years. It was, I think, great for us, and an opportunity to learn more about several things. And we hope that in future you can collaborate in another possibilities. We don't know the future, it's also a challenge. So we are here to do it. Thank you very much for coming again, and for follow us during these 3 years of the program. So I think Angela and Will must leave the session. We will continue. Nuno, would you like to say something?
Yes, of course. It's been a great pleasure working with all of you and with many other facilitators that are not here today. It's really a challenge, as you have all said, and it's also not only a challenge, but a way to question things and a way to put all those big opportunities that we have in our world and in our society in a different level. And it was really, as always, and for so many years that I've been working with Will and with all Demola team, it has always been a great pleasure doing these kind of things and learning and being able to pass all this new information and all these new ways of looking to things to our colleagues and to all the polytechnics in Portugal and all the polytechnics and universities around the world. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we can start. We suggest that each team have 10 minutes. However, if you are able to do it in less time, I think will be good, because we have more time to discuss, because this session it's to share the best practices, the cases, and will be great if we have time to do it with the sharing the different point of views of different people that are here in different teams. So please manage well your time, and we can start with increasing energy literacy in customers. Marco Marques, I think you are able to share your screen. Marco, are you here today?
I think Mark is not here.
It's not here. So Maria João, Sustainable Tourism Challenge and Opportunities.
Yes, I'm here. And also Pedro. So I'm going to share the screen. You can see?
Yes, we are seeing.
Yes. Okay. So our project was sustainable tourism. Me and Pedro Mares, we are the facilitators. Pedro is also here. So Pedro, please, if you want to add something to my presentation, of course you can do it, and I thank you. The students were 3 students. We start with 6, but until the end, only 3 reached the end of the project. Alexandra Pinheiro is a student from IP Coimbra. Constança Godinho and Margarida are from IPS. The topic arose within the scope of a problem that has been talked about within the sector in Portugal. The growth of tourism has exerted increasing pressure on water and electricity consumption in the hotel sector. So the challenge of the project was to identify opportunities to improvement in the practice already adopted in the sector, and suggest strategies that lead to the adoption of responsible behavior regarding the consumption of these resources by tourists. And okay. Regarding teaching, learning, companies and students, this project, the co-creation project, generated a collaborative environment and resulted in an enriching experience for the parties involved. For the teachers, what we felt the challenge was centered on the changing of the role of the teacher as the center of the knowledge transmission process to a facilitator of the knowledge production process. And this was quite a challenge in the beginning of the project. It was also felt a need for more time to prepare the case and to identify a business partner to commit effectively with the project. We didn't have enough time. We started in the October, more or less, and it was not possible to identify in that time of the year, a company that was compromised with the project. So it was a very low profile participation of the company, unfortunately. Regarding teacher learning and students learning, because the company was not so much involved, the students interact and combined knowledge and skills that being different came together to understand and explore the problem, investigating different sources of information, generating ideas and creating proposals for future actions. Their involvement in constructive debates in which they expose their ideas and the relevant information reached allow them, based on their specific knowledge, to combine, produce, improve, and finally share co-creation knowledge. Those information we collect from the students, of course, and they were in the reports in the end of the projects. The aspects that they most evaluate were integration into a multidisciplinary team, the healthy confrontation of different points of view, and the quality of the results they reached based on differentiated knowledge applied to a new area. Because they are from different areas. One was from marketing, the other student from healthcare, and another one from energy. I don't remember the name of the course, but it's from technology at the IPS. Future projects and new paths. Not so much how to implement, but future projects and new paths. Regarding sustainable destination development, develop a sustainable tourism destination through co-creation with local communities, stakeholders, and travelers. This project could focus on identifying sustainable tourism practices that preserve the environment, respect local cultures, and benefit local communities. Regarding another idea is a green hotel certification program. And the idea is to develop a green hotel certification program through co-creation with hotels owners and travels. This project could focus on identifying the most effective and feasible sustainability practice for hotels, as well developing a certification process that is reliable, accessible, and widely recognized. And that's the idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria João. Maybe you can do some presentations and then have a space to discussion. Marco,
Okay.
would you like to continue?
Okay, bom dia. So I must share my presentation. I'm the facilitator of the project Increasing Energy Literacy in Customers. And I carried out all efforts of team building to create the IPS team of 4 students that were selected and joined the project.
I think we're not seeing it, right?
Yes, we are only seeing the,
We're just seeing your files.
yes.
Oh,
I think you didn't open the correct
Okay.
door on your
okay,
thing.
okay. Now, I think now we are seeing my
Yes, now
presentation.
we are seeing.
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm the facilitator of the project Increasing Energy Literacy in Customers. And a team was created, IPS team, with 4 students. The names are presented in this communication. The students team set 2 company partners, Petro and Antram, from a list of stakeholders established initially and linked to the decarbonization of the energy sector. About the challenge, Portuguese consumers have low levels of energy literacy, even related to decarbonization. And to make Portuguese public care like to find information and become more familiar with energy issues is our challenging endeavor. Optimizing energy production and consumption is also related to customers' common financial knowledge and is the major issue concerning energy literacy. About teacher learning and company students, my key learnings as facilitators of this innovation co-creation project with Demola methodology, better motivator, provocative with more elastic behavior, inducing also thinking out of the box regarding positive futures through facilitation techniques, develop time management skills to getting free time to achieve meetings with the members of the team, also helped by the partners. Never behave as a teacher, always being the pilot of the ship, but never the captain. The pilot does not allow the sink of the ship. And the partners help the team to develop with their management of time required to participate in team meetings, their contribution due to their expertise of the energy sector. And the students learn to manage their scarce available time in order to carry out task times in Demola platform and to participate in team meetings. The tools available on Demola platform and recommended by Demola were used. The team reached milestones and submitted the required deliveries. The most important findings of a survey was created and from a target public that was selected by the team. And the most important findings from this questionnaire is that the most public customers think that better dissemination of energy market information should be done through the traditional media, and the consumers are aware of the importance of sustainable behavior regarding production and consumption of energy. However, the majority don't intend to invest directly their own money to allow the development of a path to obtain decarbonized and unpolluted energy. Main solutions were achieved by our team to get the main objectives of this project. TV and radio shows, including attractive forums, debates, contests about energy literacy, sponsored by energy companies in prime times, and a friendly digital platform with attractive themes related to energy literacy assessed by apps. About future and how to implement new ways. As everyone, I think, we had a final meeting, an event of sharing the outcomes of the project with the partners, results of the survey and solutions found to increase energy literacy, reflections and dialogue, realizing that this was not the ending of this project, but a new beginning based on the will of continuing the work shown by the team, the partners, and the facilitator. So it was a time of celebration, about ongoing of the project progress. A paper published in Revista Antrim in first quarter of 2023, and also in a Petro site. So these are publishing sites of the partners. And now we didn't stop the project, it is ongoing. It's truly, it is also in the first steps of creating a friendly digital platform with attractive themes related to energy literacy assessed by apps. So these are this is the communication of the team of this project. So I finished.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
I invited a partner. I don't know if he's already here. Perhaps he didn't.
If you have here the partner, and if someone wants to add something,
I don't know if I already linked, because I don't know if
it's possible to do it.
If he linked. He is the partner from Antrim, José Encarnação. I don't know if he's already linked or not.
I cannot see here, but
Perhaps.
okay. Maybe you can go on. I don't know if José Miguel Freitas is here. Is here. José Miguel?
He is.
Okay. No water for waste.
Yep. Good. Are you seeing my screen? So, good morning. My name is José Miguel Freitas, and well, No Water for Waste was the case I facilitated. No, it moved. So the team was that worked with me was Catarina and Joana, both from PEDAGOGICAL, taking business management. Flávio from Brazil, taking a master's on production engineering in our institute. Severine from PI Guarda, taking restaurant and catering. And Luis from the company partner Carmona. The team was exactly what I wanted, with a company partner and a team of students that was multidisciplinary, multi-geographical, and multicultural. The only thing I can say that lacked on my team was a non-Portuguese speaking member. That would be the full team that I really wanted when I joined this project. The down part was that, of course, we had to always work online, so there wasn't a possibility of face-to-face meetings. That would be excellent, but there was no possibility to do it, unfortunately. So we always worked online. Our original challenge was, well, I'll explain a bit more about our. The challenge was constructed by me and Luis. So I approached Luis to ask him what, following the Ville's indications, what the company thought about it for the future, but didn't have time to explore. And what Luis came to me was the problem with climate change, and the increased and severe drought of the last years, and the implications it has on waste management, since most of the waste management projects use water. And this was the challenge that we started, but as we all know, the project is of the students. We just facilitate. So the students, during their normal progress, they change the challenge. So they they pass from a specific waste problem to a more general and sustainable aspect of the use of water. The findings that in the end that they had was that household water circuits should be modified for bathwater reuse. And the most interesting was a mandatory individual card stating how sustainable a person is by a color code, green being the best and red the worst. Also, companies aiming for a sustainable badge would have to hire and promote the collaborators with higher sustainability performance. And also, certain public benefits would only be available for green card holders. In the final meeting we had with the students, we talked about the problematic around a card like this, being that it would restrain several liberties. Of course, they said they weren't thinking about that in that way, but it gives food for thought that they, in this generation, due to the big issue of climate change, they are actually willing to lose liberty in order to solve the problem. And this can actually be a pathway to some demagogues. And that's something that we should all be aware of. And this was a part that, for me, in the end, was more something to be worried about, actually. For Carmona, the company, it was important for them to get closer to the academic environment, something that they find fundamental to attract talent from higher education. Was also an opportunity to know and interact with new generations. And of course, the conclusions of the study were too general for them, but reinforced the idea that they had about the need for action in terms of technology and rationalization of water in terms of consumption. For me personally, I had to learn to trust the process, the facilitation process. I had to learn how to become a facilitator. Some of these learnings seem quite obvious, but only when we do it, not before, actually. One of my learnings was giving deadlines to students as a tool to force action and making them to go forward. Not caring too much on the quality of the deliverables, because that's not the aim, actually the aim. The aim is to getting them to a certain point, and that was an important learning for me. And also something that I have to admit, as a professor, I don't do quite often, is gaining the trust and making that trust visible towards students, and that was also an important learning. In terms of new pathways, this project was in the end too generic and it was too futuristic, but that was mainly the objective. So there was no going on the project. But I have to admit that some new pathways, we should discuss them. Nowadays, we have a big number of facilitators in our institute, and we could apply co-creation in IPS international semesters, or, for instance, in an elective curricular unit available to all IPS students. That's something that as an institute, we've been talking about, and this could be a pathway towards that. Actually, the only way that it makes sense, the co-creation, in the sense that we learned it, is by multidisciplinary teams. So that means that we cannot apply it in just one course. We need students from several disciplines, and that means that it has always to be transversal. So thank you. I would like to thank IPS to for allowing me to do this this training. It was very important, I have to admit. I would like to thank Will, although he's not here, and the Demola team for all their effort. Also, the students and the company to take part in this journey. And last but not least, I would like to thank Nuno for being a 5-star driver to our boot camps. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. Now, family well-being, who cares? Susana Garradas and Jorge Rebalo. We will do 6 presentation and then a period for discussion, okay?
Okay, sorry. I'm without the camera, but I will try to do it with the camera on. If my issues with the internet keeps going, I will turn off the camera, but I will need your feedback for that, okay? So let me try to do this, to share it. Okay. So I'll try to do it fast. So first of all, sorry, many things in my desktop at the moment. No, much better. Okay. So starting with to apologize because Susanna could not attend. So I'll try to do it for both of us. So the topic is related with the current, let's say, social status, because we are living healthier, which is true, with living much more years than before. However, our lifestyle today brings new challenge with this modern life, with these different lives that we have. For example, if you compare with last century, we have also some consequences to take it from this. So this change of rhythm in areas open up new opportunities for all of us, creating new values, behaviors, preference. So things are changing, and things are changing. Also, our concern is focused on family well-being, and the question is, who cares about that? So we know that family is a strong pillar for our development as human beings, as society. And today, we believe that this pillar is a little weak, and that we need to work it to take advantage of all benefits that come from this. And when we speak about well-being, I put here 2 simple pictures that showing data interaction within the family. So it's not one from one side, another from the other side. We are in the same physical space, but we also interact. And this lack of interaction is what leads us to discuss during those sessions. The team was composed by Gonçalo Cachado from IPS Barreiro, in this case, Helena Vasco from Politécnico of Beja, Margarida Teixeira from Porto Alegre, also from the Polytechnic, and Mariana Martins, also from a Polytechnic from Beja. Yes. So our main learnings first start with the problematic, with this definition, and with some fine-tuning to understand what is in and what is out of our scope. So clarifying the scope is something that is key since the beginning of the project. After, a strong problematic analysis. So we know what is the problematic. Now what we need is to analyze deeply as possible, to understand it better. Co-creation. Now let's come to co-creation. The process of co-creation it's different from the process or project of ownership. What means if I do it alone, I do it by my own rules, by my own thoughts. But when I do it with others, I have to care about what each of the stakeholders think and want to do it on the process or the project. So the solution should not come before planning. This is one of the most not tricky, but most difficult things to apply, because as human beings, all of us, we start, when we think in a problematic, we start to think in the solution. As fast as possible, we can solve the problem, happier we are. So the issue is that this whole process, and there's many others, oblige us to follow a certain key steps that lead us to understand really what should be the solution, what should be the most complete solution, not the first one, because the first one could remove, let's say, 5% of the problematic, but not the 95%. So, and with all that analysis, what we want is to try to find the 95 or even the 100% of the solution, which is the perfect solution. So for that, we need to understand others' points of view, other ideas. We have to negotiate. Sometimes we have to let go some ideas, and all the stakeholders should buy the solution. So should be 100% involved. With all of that and with the teamwork, we believe that the results are much better than if we do it alone. So for future projects, some tips that we leave here for others that will come after. So the first one is close the team as up. I believe that most of all that are in this session agrees with that. Do a strong local awareness with the local students is fundamental, because with that, with the proximity, we can close faster the team. Assure that a partner organization is fully in line from the beginning. And if not, it's better to do it without a partner organization, to be honest. Assure also that all, I put here facilitators, team, partners, but all that are involved are committed with the project, and very important, have more time available for the project than what the program already requires. I'm not saying the program is not requiring a good amount of time. What I'm saying is that if you want to do it well, we need much more time. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you for sharing your experience in Demola and with your team. Now we have the presentation of Célia Mestre. Célia, are you here? No. Mário Espada? Well-being in higher education.
Hello, yes, I'm here, but I'm finishing the presentation. I would need 5-10 minutes, please, because I was hoping Célia would come.
Okay.
And the schedule was 10:50 for me.
Okay, so maybe we can have now here time to discuss the aspects about the project. All of these presentations, these fourth three presentations focus in some aspects, the learning for the company, the learning for the facilitator, and also for students. And in some cases, we have similar aspects, not the fact that sometimes it's difficult for us, and I'm included in it because I did this training in the beginning before the project, and it's difficult for us as teachers to recover our attitude to be facilitator and to allow us that the students are more autonomous in some process, etc. And we must have a lower participation in the project. And for companies, the opportunity to cooperate with the new generation, with the millennials, it's also very interesting. And some thoughts about the future, the possibility to continue with this project in IPS, do that. We have several teachers with this training. In international semester, I think could be interesting. In one of the schools, in the business school, we propose this signature as an option, but I think that in next semester we don't have it in the offer of international model, but could be interesting. These facilitators organize some possibilities to continue. We also have some ideas to develop future projects in co-creation. So we would like that this project continue in the future, naturally with different aspects. So maybe now we can, with this presentation, we can share ideas, perspectives, etc. between us. Who wants to contribute for it?
Good morning, all. I can.
Tenho aqui a porta aberta e de vez em quando passam pessoas. Please, Claudia.
So I just want to say that the topics were very interesting. I think this project makes us think and learn also about the challenge of sustainability, and it's noticed here in all the topics that were presented. Of course, for us, it was also challenging since I had the same problems with keeping the team working online is not the best option. And we saw that sometimes teams started with 6 and finished only with half of the members, maybe because also our students are not, it's like sometimes they are in university because they want just to get the degree and check to the curricular units they have to do, and they are not really opened sometimes to work in these kind of projects. So it's a need that I notice that we need to work more with them and for them to be more engaged with this new approach of develop skills. And these skills are really important. It's not only because we have our meeting, they need to stay together. It's like the corporation and be more responsible and more autonomous. I felt that difficulty. Mm-hmm. But of course, I have 3 students that were very good and one that it appears because he needs the credits or something like that. That's my opinion. Regarding the topics, I think they were very, very interesting. And when we talk with students, we also learn about the way they are thinking this new challenge about sustainability and how they are concerned about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Claudia, anyone more wants to share something about the experience in the participation of Demola? I know that your participation in boot camps, it was very interesting for who was able to participate, because it was a moment that people can talk with the other colleagues from different institutions and also share ideas and knowledge about the project. So in our perspective, this possibility to work together with different institutions in Portugal and in the world, because sometimes we had students from outside countries, it was also very interesting, and the boot camps allows this possibility. I know that some of you, because we talk with the people, have some issues about the number of hours, but it was this is an issue that depends on the project. We have a project with some characteristics, and we must follow this aspect. But maybe this could be maybe about it we have some conclusions that in future and other projects maybe we can share more the possibility to have more boot camps or more presential sessions, etc. However, otherwise, with all the parts presential, some of the people have some difficulties to come and to manage the time, the time for to preparing the classes, etc. with this part of the training. So no solution. It's it's sometimes good for wholes. So we must maybe mix different possibilities in order to minimize the risk of people don't have an opportunity to participate. Anyone more wants to contribute? Miguel?
Yes, on the topic of the boot camps, it was definitely important being presential. Not only because we met colleagues from other institutions and realized we all have the same problems and issues, but also because we could meet our colleagues inside the institute. We don't have many opportunities to work with colleagues from other schools, and that's a shame. I would love to say I have the solution. I have no idea what is the solution, but that was an excellent opportunity. To share knowledge with colleagues from inside, and on the coming back on the topic of the teams. Well, I was lucky. I didn't have a problem with working with them online. They were really focused and delivered all the time. So I was lucky with the team, but there's an issue here on the program, but it's finished, so there's no solution right now. But they weren't all at the same level, because the rules in the institutions were different between institutions. So I know that the students had from Beja and Guarda were there. One of the issues, the reasons they were there was to get the credits for their curricular units, and the one I had from Setúbal didn't have that carrot, let's say. And also there was also the issue of the grant, because they could apply for a grant, but then also the rules are not the same in the institutes. So in the end, the girls head from Beja could apply for the grant, but the one from Guarda couldn't, because they would only give grants to the ones that were working with professors from Guarda. So not having the same rules in the program, that was a problem in the end. Fortunately, that just came in the end, because I would be worried if that would ruin the team.
Yes,
That's it.
This is because Setúbal are in the metropolitan area of Lisbon. So we just are in a project, POCH, and other polytechnics have the possibility that are engaged in another funding by Compet. But Setúbal, do the geographic localization, are not able to do it. So we have the same results without this funding. So we don't have funding for the grants for the students. We don't have granting in order you went to the boot camps. All these expenses was supported by IPS. And in the other Polytechnic institutes, no, they have a grant from Compet, a huge project that allows these possibilities. But we decided that it was important for IPS, even without this grant, participate in all projects. So we did this effort in order to participate, send people to boot camps, etc. But it is why we have different roles from the others. We don't have we don't are in this program funded by Compet, because we are in Lisbon. And
yeah, but
we are rich.
But that wasn't the issue. That we all know. The issue was that the girls from Beja could get the grant, and the boy from Guarda couldn't, because the rulings on the institutes are different. So Beja doesn't. The only issue is if the students are participating, doesn't matter with who. For Guarda, they only allow the grant for students of Guarda that are working with professors from Guarda. So that wasn't a problem with Setúbal. But now with the change of the NUTS, we should be poor again. So,
yeah. One more some years and we will become poor again. Because it's not fair. We don't have the same development of Lisbon, so it's not for here, but it's an issue. But we participate, we training the students, we send the people that wants to participate in boot camp, and IPS support the expenses for this. So okay. But we don't have the same role, so sometimes it's difficult to manage all these things. Okay, anyone more wants to participate? I don't know if Mario are able to present now, because we receive an email from Celia that she are not able to come today.
Oh, yes, I'm ready. Can I share, please? Let me just. Okay. I think I don't have permission to share. Wait a second.
I think you have.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's coming.
Yes?
Yes. We are seeing.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the the collaboration from EPS in Demola project, all the human resources and support we had during this project. And I would like to say hello to all the colleagues here present and all facilitators. Well, the project was entitled Well-being in Higher Education Students, Teachers, Researchers, and Non-Teaching Staff. I was the facilitator. I had the collaboration from 6 students, all from EPS Setúbal, and students from the undergraduation in sports, Bruna, Diogo, Gonçalo, Maria Beatriz, and Rafael from the first year, and Maria Silva from the second year. And our partner was Ultra Aventure, which is owned by a former student, a diplomat from the School of Education. Well, the project arose from daily observations in the campus of Setúbal and also Barreiro, namely the increased sedentary lifestyle in academic campus, changes in body composition, which is very observable in cafeterias in the campus when students go from the bus or from the train to the classes, and also in teachers and non-teaching staff. Namely, body weight is increasing, which is not specifically a problem in Setúbal, but globally, not only in Portugal, but all the planet. Also, the knowledge of post-academic cases related to mental health, which sometimes lead to absence and even quitting students in academic commitments. The dropout from federated clubs by our students, namely when they engage in higher education, they don't have time available to train and to coach, and sometimes they leave the regular practice of sports and even exercise. It's happening not only with students, but also with teachers and non-teaching staff. And the last but not the least, the possible collaboration of EPS in the submission for the LT campus. This arises from a long time ago conversation with Pro-President Carlos Mata. He told me that it was an interest in this specific in this program. So we try to engage all this in the project. Well, the focus was in Setúbal city, trying to involve and to explore also the potential in Setúbal, namely the Rábida Natural Park. And in the first moments, we try to make a diagnostic about what EPS already has, which is a lot. It's good. It's a good example at national and international level. Some of the dynamics that EPS currently provides to teachers, students, and non-teaching staff, namely the quality of and the worrying or como se diz, a preocupação.
Concern.
What?
Concern.
The concern, yes, thank you. The concern related to food. So EPS is a good example. Afterward, we also observed that sports club have plenty of good possibilities for all the community, not only specifically EPS, but the surrounding community of Setúbal. We found many activities and the possibility of engagement from 9:30 to 10 p.m. and the regular activities such as cardio fitness, bodybuilding, yoga, spinning, circuit training, and many others. The next slide presents the weekly regular schedule, and below another interest dynamic in EPS related to the team sports, which involves students from the 5 schools in Setúbal and Barreiro, which train together and represent EPS at national and international levels. And in the last years with very good results, which is representing and interesting for Setúbal. Then we also observe that there are other possibilities which are the weekly dynamics in the campus and promoted activities such as tournaments between students and even teachers from different schools, which is important not only in the regular involvement in exercise and good practice and healthy practice, but also from the social perspective. And more recently, dynamics, once again, related to social issues, namely cultural, cinematographic, also with sports and other activities, which is, so we could observe in this initial phase that EPS already has many good dynamics. Then we also observe professional services which are available via SAS Health, namely clinical psychology support, nutritional and occupational therapy. And afterward, what we intended to do was to project and to implement new activities which were different from the ones that already are performed, to try to promote this well-being in the community. So firstly, we research for validated questionnaires to apply to the community. We found this questionnaire, the local brief, which is from the World Health Organization, and translated. It's already translated for Portuguese and validated, and we placed in Lime survey for the possibility to apply in the students, teachers, and non-teaching staff. Then we start to implement and to organize specific activities. This was an activity in which we try to highlight the importance of regular exercise, healthy lifestyles, and also science, which is something that EPS is focused in and very well in the last few months and years. So this was the open day for the FCT, the Foundation for Science and Technology, and you can see an image below in which we brought students to the sports laboratory, and we had a conscious time and also specific skills related to data collection with the students. Then with one class of SEPS, we implemented a visit to our partner, Ultra Aventure Sports. Afterward, from this visit, we dynamized diving baptism in the swimming pool of Setúbal, in collaboration with classes of the undergraduation in sports. So other students, not only from the sports undergraduation, come to the pool and perform the diving baptism, which was very nice to them. We also implemented activities in the rapid nature sports, and it's in the conclusion in the last slides, because students and teachers and non-teaching staff, all of them indicate us that the contact with nature was something enjoyable for them. This was a good example. Other example, also in collaboration with our partner, night riding in Rábida. These are two of our students, Marcia and Valerie, in the picture. All of us finished the project in the end of December, start of January, I believe. So we at that time, in collaboration with Ultra Sports Aventure, we tried to project activities for 2023. This is an example, open water diver. And lastly, due to our conversations during the activities and during the dynamics of Demola, we received some feedback from students, teachers, and non-teaching staff. Namely, some of them were continuing to pursue more healthy food options in the campus, but keep them affordable. And here we observed that the financial issue was starting to get to be important for the students and teachers and non-teaching staff, but they realized and they were happy with the EPS concern about this, seeking to promote activities in non-formal and environmental, preferably in contact with the nature, like I said before. Try to motivate sports between students of different degrees, organizing activities, promoting the good and correct use of technologies, which is something that nowadays is very important. And all of them told us that technology, and we observed this in all days, that technologies are a societal issue, so we must use them in the correct way. Consider social activities in the campus, such as lunch pits. We have an image below with an example. So all of us spend many time seated, or like right now, because these moments can be interesting. Creating a sort of outdoor sports once or twice a week, so that students are able to perform some activities. Because fortunately, EPS and our School of Education have some equipment, and if we could have this equipment organized and provided to the EPS community, we could dynamize very, very much more activities. Some of them are reality, but more would be possible. Another suggestion, you were 5 minutes of active pause in each hour of seated lessons, like we have an example before, labor gymnastics. Mostly the students talk about this, trying to create more friendly academic schedules, because most of them work or train, and sometimes they spend too much time in the campus and don't have time to other social, cultural, and sport activities. And creating a schedule once a month to allow the organization of activities outside the campus, namely in contact with the nature, like previously indicated. To finish, and related to the future, well, this project could be the start or the kicking, like, of the FISO certification. To another future perspective was to design, implement, and evaluate new dynamics related to this topic, the well-being in higher education students, teachers, and non-teaching staff, the continuation of what we perform in those months. And it would be also interesting to have access to information related to other academic campuses, not only Setúbal, but other campuses in Portugal and even abroad, to compare and to try to find and to match activities, not only to be implemented in Setúbal, but to like like we perform in the those moments we had in Coimbra and other places, so we can meet together and have a good time. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mario. A lot of opportunities that the students had to participate in several events, etc. Very nice.
Thank you.
Now I pass the moderation to Nun Pina. Nun, to continue.
Thank you, Luisa. We're going to have a next presentation from Aldina. The project name is Let's Play. So please, Aldina, if you don't mind, can share the screen and start. Thank you.
I think you can see it now. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning to all. It's really important to be here, all of us sharing what we have been done in this Demola project. So Gabriela can't be here today. She had another appointment, so I will try to give you a picture of our project, this Let's Play. When we start with this idea, when we joined the Demola project, we saw the themes the themes they were there, saving the oceans, ecological issues, and so on. But we thought to save and to have a healthy planet, we need to have also healthy people, and starting with children. That's why we come up with this idea and this project. And we also know that teaching how to play is just as important as teaching children how to sleep, how to eat, and how to walk, and other basic skills. They need to learn nowadays how to play. And we also know it's difficult, very difficult, to limit a children's screen time when everyone around them, they are always using technologies all the time. So the adults are the child or the children examples. And when we got this team, our team, we have here David Anastácio from Systems Technology, and Mariana Pereira from Physiotherapy, Mayra Matos from Biomedical Technology, Raquel Souza from Physiotherapy, Rodrigo Silva from Bioinformatics. We start with 5, we finished with 5, always committed with this project, what it was really nice. So when they start this is not working. Oh, okay. When they start work together, they found that for children grow up healthy, they must sit less and play more. And with each passing year, children become more and more sedentary. And as we can see, they are from health schools and from technology and informatics and so on. And when they went to the research, they found a very strong connection from sedentary lifestyle in children to excessive use of technology, and starts to raise an idea. Technology, well, technology, we need technology. Technology, yes and no, or technology, yes or no. Of course, technology, yes, and sometimes no. So they found that the use of technology was become a drug for children, and how to modify or slow down this tendency. And it's really a drug because we know after removing the stimulus of the technology, the children's, they react if we had reprieved them of a drug. They scream, they kick, they struggle, they throw tantrums, they do blackmail with parents. I think all of us are already experiencing something like that, I think. And we know the WHO, World Health Organization, they have guidelines to indicate the times that children should be exposed to technologies. So they tried to find the targets, and they understood that everyone who directly or indirectly interact with the child has influence in their technology usage. So they thought about the children themselves, the families, society, and the education system. It was the first thing they was thinking about. But then what they learn, the students, they learn that they need to have a changing mindsets, the different way of thinking. And they find that work, sorry, my okay. They learn working in a team made of different elements from different schools, different backgrounds, different professions, and different regions of the country. It was challenging for them. And they learn also how to look for another way of look for the information and go through different sources, circulating discourses on the subjects so that the problem can be defined, really well defined. And the more information collected, the better. And it was quite weird for our students go out from scientific databases. They went also to the pink magazines, Facebook, they listened to the professionals, they went to the community and listened to ordinary people to understand what they thought about technologies and the use of technology by children. And they also learned that all ideas and proposals are for consideration and discussion. We don't give up an idea just because or just we hear something about it. And they also learned how to be flexible and self-directed, because they need to work in the very challenging topics, working without uncertain hours, holidays, Sundays, and so on, and working without uncertain answers, because sometimes they couldn't find an answer. And for us teachers, what did we learn? The same as them, changing mindsets. the students, they want to highlight some important ideas they learn. Children spend up to 80% of their day at home. And prisoners spend more time outdoors than children. They are very strong message. It's unbelievable that today more dogs are walked than children. And the usage of electronic devices in the bathroom harms children's sleep and health. So Portuguese children spend more hours in front of screens than what is recommended by the World Health Organization. So these were the most strong ideas they come up in this project. And they learn how important this issue can be. And for us, teachers, we also need to changing our mindsets. And like the students, we need to learn how to work in random teams. In each boot camp, we never know we are going to work with someone that we don't know yet, but could be an opportunity to enrich our learning. And those teams were also made from different schools, different people from different backgrounds, different areas, and this was really important. And we also learn how to be more flexible and to be provocative and disruptive sometimes it was needed. To work in challenging topics, endure awkward silence. Sometimes it was difficult not to say something, and working without uncertain days and hours and answers. So we also learned that to be a good leader or facilitator requires training, the ability to intervene only when necessary without giving the answers. And sometimes the answers may not even exist. So it's really a challenge. About the future, and to understand the beliefs and myths of families associated with the use of the technology by children. And what if there are no chairs in school? What if parents receive monetary incentives to play with children outdoors in places created for this purpose? How can we improve children's inclusion and interactions by banning cell phones while classes hours? What if parents were given fines if a child was seen using technologies? What if was obliged to go on foot to school and by bike? What if parents didn't limit children to go out to the streets? So there are some not very consensual ideas here about monetary issues, but they are very interesting questions to think about. And we also thought that one idea for the future could be how to lead to adoption of policies more directly to the excessive use of technology, how to recover the tradition of family games in the open air using the contests of traditional Portuguese games, for instance. How do we make sure that parents are not afraid to let children play in open spaces? So those were different and very, in our point of view, very important ideas that come up with this project, and we can keep working on those. So that's it. Thank you.
So thank you, Aldina. We will continue with our presentations. And the next presentation will be from Marcia. I know that Marcia has sent us a video, and I will try to share that video with you. I'm not sure if we will have sound for that, but I will try to just preparing it. It's opening, and I will share my screen with you. So, can you see the video? I will start it right now.
We can't hear.
Conseguem ouvir? Não. You
No,
can hear?
no sound.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Let me try to see what I can do.
Noon, I think it's one of the options. You have to share the sound of your laptop.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now I think it will be able to listen.
Hi everyone, my name is Marcia Santos. I'm a professor at Instituto Politécnico de Setúbal. I'll be presenting the project that me and my team made under Demola project. The name is Strategies to Promote Awareness of Retirement Savings in the Younger People. And this project involved students from Santarém, Brazil, and me at Setúbal. The names of the students were Aleph Santana, Bernardo Aguiar, Francisco Patrick, Inês Mira, Tássia Rebelo. And the facilitators in this project was me and my colleague, a professor from Instituto Politécnico de Santarém, Adriana Silva. The slides are in Portuguese, but I will present the project in English. So the main lines of this project was to understand what strategies the young people should adopt and be aware of to prepare their retirement, and how the older people are now prepared also to live in residence. During the initial phase of this project, we identified the financial education as an important topic. So financial education drives all the other phases of this project, as you will see later. During the phase, the exploratory phase, when the students were asked to read and to search for interesting inputs for discussing the topic of financial education in a way that should contribute to the retirement discussion that we were intended to do, they found that the products and the financial concepts were important to be in the education of the people, not only in financial courses, but especially in other courses where people will not contact with the financial topics. A search in 26 countries in several continents found that the level of financial literacy was very low in these economies. Thus, during the second phase, when we tried to identify the top priorities, stakeholders that could be interested in understanding and contributing for this issue, the students found that government, higher education institutions, families, and younger people should be our focus during this project. So we were studying financial literacy related to how it could contribute to the retirement discussion that we pretended that students would make, but the 4 stakeholders that they chose for this task were only these 4. How they described the problem? They identified these 4 bullets that are related to the lack of initiative actions from government in a short term to influence the new generations, to save to the future. Also, we found that financial education was not a transversal course like a soft skill for young people. And the young people, not only because of that, but this could be a driver too, they are not very interested, or there's a lack of interest in this topic of financial education related to the retirement that will occur in the future. Solution that students found that could be promoted. The national program, educational national program, should address the financial education driven to the retirement issues. An online platform could be created to promote as a digital tool to promote this awareness of the young people. And the way that this platform would be content, the content that would be in this platform should be accurate for the younger people. There's a way to communicate to older people and younger people, so should be adequate to and accurate to these targets. And maybe an association only focus in financial literacy could be a way, a vehicle to promote and to talk about this issue in schools and others ways to promote this awareness. The final idea that students designs included to create like a financial education hub, that is the website, the platform online, in which this platform should aggregate all the good information that already have the good practice that already identified in several websites, like the website that is the name is Todos Contam. That is a website where people, if they search for, could find in Portuguese information about financial literacy, and also other platforms like Saber de Contas, Financial Education Notebooks, and others that could cooperate and integrate all the X-forces to create like a financial education hub as a one to effectively achieve the goal of young people to be aware of how financial education could, in financial literacy, could promote awareness of the retirement savings that they should, from young, to start making a way to. After the students concluded and arrived to some ideas, we promoted several meetings with researcher and professor Rolorian from ISCTE, and with the partner of this project, that was Centro de Reformados e Idosos da Baixa da Banheira, to know the feedback that they had about the brainstorming and the final note that our students created. And I believe that these sessions were very important to they know that they did a good job discussing these topics, but there's a lot more to do. But this was a very good starting point. Thank you. Bye.
So, okay, I'll stop the sharing and we will continue now with Claudia. And Claudia,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Claudia will present the project A Sustainable Future Through Food and Nutrition Literacy. So Claudia, please, you can start, and thank you.
Okay, I think I'm sharing. Yes. So it's not only Claudia that will present it, it's Claudia and Catarina, one of my team members. So our project is entitled The Sustainable Futures Through Food and Nutritional Literacy, and had 6 members at the initial of the project, but we stay 4, Catarina, Olivia, Piotr, and Luca, and me as a facilitator. I will start with to say thank you for the opportunity to be here sharing, and as it is already said, it was one of the highlights of Demola project. It was not only the learning process, but it was also the opportunity to share work and to work with the EPS colleagues, other EPS, to know Nunu and the Finland team. That was great. So thank you very much for this. And we will start now sharing this work. So this work evolved. It started with this name that was too big, Food and Nutritional Literacy to Underpin Sustainable Nutrition. And the team members decide that will be better to have some more engaging title, and it finished with A Sustainable Future Through Food and Nutritional Literacy. The team members are Olivia, Erasmus student, Piotr, also Erasmus student, both from Poland, and they are studying in business. Catarina Diaz, that is now present with us, and she finished already the graduation in biotechnology and is a master student, and it was the boost of this team. And Luca Ladic, a German student, also from economics, and is studying in EPS also. So our team challenge starts with discussion about food, regarding all the awareness around this topic. We know that nutrition is not easy topic for everyone, so there are challenges. But I will give the opportunity for Catarina to show what they have been studying. Catarina, please. If you want, I continue sharing and you can start. Sorry. Catarina? Push. It's going on. Are you listening?
We are not listening, Catarina.
No, Catarina,
No.
We cannot listen to you. But she was here.
Katerina is here.
Can you listen now?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
Do
Thank
you
you.
want me to share, Katerina, or you continue?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so I will.
In today's world, we encounter many challenges like the population growth, the climate change, and food waste and loss, which cause scarcity in the resources. We also encounter some shifts in dietary patterns, as well as biodiversity loss. We also encounter some lack in technology and innovation. With our project on food and nutritional literacy, we meet the following needs, such as the lack of knowledge about environmental issues and the social impacts on our food choices. We have inadequate education, as well as conflicting information that exists in social media and other forms. We have the socioeconomic factors, as well as the influence of the industry and the behavioral change of people.
Now I will present the partner. So we contact some companies to say if they are ready to work with us in this challenge. And one that answered was a very new company that it's the cricket farming, and she has aware about the food needs, the food scarcity in future, all about new protein sources and how our market is changing. So Gonçalo was the representative of this cricket farming, and he shared with us in a journey how was to create this company and the project that is now working in a prison when they work with youth trying to produce crickets to produce flour and other sources of protein. And it was an inspiring experience he shared with us.
So everyone knows that change should start from the beginning. So we focused on two main groups, the youth, starting with children, and then teenagers and young adults, and primary teachers too. We noticed that the already existing classes on the subjects like nutrition, environment, and sustainability are very relevant. However, it is extremely important the creation of new programs about these subjects, also the meetings with experts on these subjects. We also found that it is very beneficial to establish partnerships with different companies and associations, and is beneficial to not only these entities, but also to the general population itself. All of these options conclude to the transfer of new information and therefore to the evolution of people's knowledge and education. Our participation in this project allowed us to have a new type of perspective on the subject of healthy and sustainable foods. We found out that there's a gap of knowledge on problems caused by the production, the distribution, the packaging, and consumption of food itself. However, we noticed that there is an increasing motivation in society to learn and educate themselves and grow on this topic. We concluded that there is an increase in personal research and in the demand of non-meat-based foods and of products with sustainable packages. Lastly, when we look into the future, first we have to make some questions, like how can we minimize waste? How can we make people adopt healthy eating habits? How can we let people know of new products that are sustainable? And what will happen when the population increases even more. Our last question is, how can we help to change the world? We have 4 ideas. The first one is the nutritional themed events and fairs. Here in Portugal, we already have cheese fairs, meat fairs, wine fairs. So why can't we have sustainable food fairs to let people know of new products? Our second idea is, like I said, the educational programs in school to make children learn about new possibilities for their diets. Our third idea is the implementation of technology on knowledge gap. We can use, for example, social media to help this information come across to different people. And lastly, our fourth idea is the adoption and support of sustainable farming practices, which sometimes don't usually happen.
Okay, thank you very much, Catarina.
Thank you.
And thank you all for your attention. And I think you discussed more, and you talk about even to use influencers in more, isn't it? More videos, more image, more talking, more sharing with expertise, and also to develop community programs. Okay, so thank you all.
Thank you.
Catarina, can you please share how was your experience? Just to say something more personal.
Because I'm more on the science type of things, I have a new perspective on the more social and economic topics that I don't usually have.
Okay. Thank you, Catarina.
So thank you so much for your presentation. Now we'll continue with Clara, Carlos, and José Morgado. And the title of the presentation will be Future of Higher Education with Augmented Reality. So thank you for your presence, and you can start.
Okay, thank you very much, Nuno, and all of you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our final presentation of the Demola project. Our work was about the future of work, more precisely about the use of augmented reality in higher education. The facilitators of the project were me, José Morgado from ESH, and Clara Carlos from ESH Barreiro. We couldn't get any companies, but we had 4 excellent students who compensate the absence of the partner. The young Demola scientists on your team were 4 members, 2 local students, João Ribeiro and João Venâncio from ESH Barreiro, and 2 exchange students, Catarina Brins from South Westphalia University of Applied Science in Germany, and Tania Allard from École Pratique des Hautes Études Commerciales from Belgium. Right, Tania? Yes. I will leave you now with our team captain, Tania Allard, that will present our PowerPoint.
Sorry, I had some problem with Wi-Fi.
Okay,
so,
Tania, go ahead.
For our project, so it was augmented reality, and we know that augmented reality can be applied in healthcare, gaming, designing, shopping, business, and traveling, but it can also be applied in education and revolutionize the current educational system. The integration of AR in classroom has shown great potential for enhancing the learning experience. And by bringing visual content into the real-world environments, AR engages students in a more interactive and immersive way. And it enables also students to visualize and manipulate abstract concepts, explore complex subjects, and bridge the gap between theoretical and knowledge and practical application. And we've also seen that AR is a market that is very growing in the future. So for the teaching and the student learning, so it was interesting because it was a co-creation project. So you always learn how to work as a team and also with new members. and especially here with international members, it was very interesting. It's also a new innovative method to do it online and to get to know each other and know the project online. It's so then a new teaching and learning methodologies. We also had to think outside the box, because it was a subject that none of us was really familiar with before, and so we had to learn and think outside the box and be creative. It was interesting because we work in a different area. We also meet and work with colleagues from other institutions, I mean for the teachers, and international students. So it was a great team. We were all very motivated in this project. Then for the future and how to implement it in different ways. So there is a numerous amount of future projects about augmented reality in higher education, such as virtual laboratories, interactive textbooks, virtual simulations, and virtual mentoring and tutoring. So a variety of benefits are combined when new technologies are used in education. So first of all, it improves student inclusion, particularly for those who have difficulties. It increases student motivation and enhances their memory and understanding. It's also way more engaging, both for teachers and students. It's lifelong learning skills. So through the use of augmented reality technology, kids gain vital abilities, including critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and digital literacy. It also allows them to explore our virtual and inaccessible environments, which we believe is the future. And to implement them, we should establish clear goals, develop a detailed plan, allocate necessary resources, foster collaboration, monitor the progress, adapt as needed, and celebrate successes along the way to ensure an effective implementation. So thank you, and also I want to thank the facilitators and my team members.
Thank you, Tanya. Very nice presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
End of our almost our project. No. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jose, and thank you.
The help that you gave to us.
Yeah. And thank you, Clara. We will continue with the next presentation that will be from Isabel Costa and Luis Leitão, correct? And the name of the project is Empowering Skills and Expertise in Higher Education with Artificial Intelligence. So thank you for being here, and please, you can start.
You want me to start as well?
No, I will share the screen and I start.
We cannot see yet the screen.
Yes, I think I have.
Maybe you should try again.
Okay. Yes. Sharing.
You want, I can share it and you start?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we are a small team It's Inês is a student from Education School of IPS. Mateus is another student from IPS. It's an Erasmus student from Poland, and he is in the Management School of IPS. And it's me from Este Barreiro, IPS, and also Luís from Leitão from Education School from IPS. So we were a bigger team in the beginning, but there were some students that couldn't stuck with us working, so we became 4, and we developed some work in this theme about artificial intelligence. I want also to acknowledge some people in the project. So first of all, IPS, and also Nuno Pina, of all the support we have, especially in the boot camps. Also want to acknowledge the receptions that we have in the 3 boot camps that I was in. It was in Porto Alegre, Bragança, and Viana do Castelo. We were very well received in all of them. And also I would like to thank the students that were with us and made the project possible. Our project is about artificial intelligence. You can go on, Luís. Yes, in this brief description of the project, it was a project. We didn't arrive to have some stakeholders in this domain, in this area. It's a recent developed domain, although artificial intelligence, it's not so new as we think, as most of people think, but the news and its use, it's recent, or its general use, it's more recent. So we tried to develop, or to develop the subject applying to higher education, and see what is good, what could be good and could be bad in this evolvement of AI in higher education. So the project explores the challenge for application of AI in teaching methodology, learning process, future of work for all, and social issues. Luís?
Yeah.
Can you go on? Luís?
Yes, I can go on and I can finish. Okay, so mainly we can state about our project and state the AI in the AI education that is already present, and everybody is talking about, mainly because of ChatGPT, and this causes some bad information for many people that is against AI in some works that can take work from the people, and this is one highlights of our project, is that we have to accept that AI will be present in the future, and we have to take the benefits from her, and gather new skills and capacities to be better, and to share and to transmit and to create and to challenge our students and every people that is in the higher education system, not only the professors and not only the students. So we take some conclusions with our project that AI will make us better. Of course, we have to accept it. We have to learn from her. There are some things that she gives us and that are not correct, but she will improve and she will help us to be better in the future. So one issue is, and then we see on the news that is the how it will be regulated or how AI will be controlled. It's not easy. This will make the European Commission to take some laws from them and to apply it to the AI and to how she will be in our lives. This will not be easy, but I think with time we will figure out some way to control it and to take the benefits from her. Also, in terms of the students, we saw it that will increase the students' interests, their skills. Will make the higher education more individualized for all the persons. It will increase the equity. It will reunite all the students from all over part of the world, and will create new skills and capacity for the students also. And this will also be a challenge for the teacher that can use AI applications to improve the transmission of knowledge and to get new knowledge and to reunite knowledge and to be more creative and more reflexive about some subject and topics, about also courses or some units from any courses of the higher education system. Also with AI, we will see that new works will appear. This is the cycle of life, and the higher education will have to adapt to this, to give answers to these new jobs that will be created, and that higher education has since centuries will be present in the future, of course. So this is some poster that we did in the last bootcamp in Bragança, me and Isabel, that in general reflects all the conclusions, all the work that have been done with our group, the two students and the two professors, the facilitators of the EPS. So in my name and the name of all the team members, thank you for your attention, and this is our work from Demola.
Thank you, Luis and Isabel.
Sorry, Nuno. Is one of the students is here with us? I think Mateus. I don't know if he wants to add something to this presentation.
Yes, of course.
No, thank you. I don't want to say anything about this presentation, but thank you for taking part in this project, and I get a lot of new information after getting this project also.
Thank you, Mateus. Okay.
Thank you. So now we'll continue with the last presentation that will be have the title "We Need Fresh Water," and we have here Graça, Costa, and Vitor Barbosa. So if you can share now and start presenting it.
Okay, good morning to all. I think you are now seeing my presentation, yes or no?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So our project is about water scarcity, and as the last colleagues, we did the project without a company. So we are two facilitators, me and Graça, and we ended the project with 4 students. We started with 6, but we lost 2 in the process. So we ended with Afonso Vaz from Bioinformatics, a student from Este Barreiro, another from another institution, which was Chris from IP Leiria, which is from Deutschland, Jessica Baltazar, a student from Accounting and Finances from our school, and Thomas, an Erasmus student studying at IPS, but coming from France. Okay, in the beginning, we were discussing about the project teams, and we ended in this one. And in the presentation, we share our project, giving some alarming numbers and trying to get students interested in the topic. So, and we did it with this text, and that's how we were able to recruit our team. Okay, and we had 12 candidates, I think, and we selected our team. Okay, from the so after the initial team, which was a very broad team, they decide to focus on the water reduction, consumption. Okay, so and after they decide also to focus on these 4 stakeholders, 2 types of consumers, individual and industrial consumers, all the companies involved in the water management, and also on the government and how they can make decisions or legislation oriented to increase or improve the water management. So as solutions, considering the stakeholders involved, they propose or identify as solution in some of these stakeholders, the adoption of water efficient technologies, so technologies that allow to reduce the consumption. Also, in the same sense, develop and implement new products or innovations to conserve water. So, and this is in some situations try to reuse the water, so minimize the waste of our water consumptions. As a main finding, they also identify the awareness about our water consumptions and give people information on other or alternative, sustainable alternatives that can minimize or reduce the water needed to produce or consume some of our day-to-day things, all we consume or use in our day-to-day life. Okay. And for the companies and the government, they need to have a comprehensive understanding on where and how the water is used and how it is distributed in regional and national situation or context. Our learning as facilitators. So we learned a lot. So this project is very distinct from our usual teaching habits. So we were forced to listen to the students and ideas, and even when we didn't totally agree, we let them explore their ideas, as we did when they choose what the topic or the subtopic to explore. It was a very nice experience to have distinct students with different backgrounds and also from different regions, from different countries, and also a challenge to deal with their behaviors. Okay, they were very, very distinct, and it was interesting, and how they work together. Okay, it was, as the main project, it was also interesting to meet all the colleagues. In IPS, we didn't know a lot of extra members, because the majority, personally, I already know them, but from the other institutions and also the staff from Demola, it was a nice experience. I think I did say enough about it. As future steps from the conclusions and the findings from the students, I will say that the main idea is that the mass population needs to have a higher awareness about the problem and how are they contributing for the problem. So each of us has no idea of what the quantity of water we are consuming in our day-to-day life and in the products we use. And so after that, we can also develop efficient solutions for water consumptions in our houses, but also in all the logistic chain that produces and brings us the products to our homes. And we need also to accept that the water and other resources are limited. And so we should adapt and be aware of that reality and act as it is. Okay, so if we have a limited resource, we need to make our lives adjust to the maximum of consumption that we can have, and predict that we are still growing in population, and our future generation also needs these resources. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vitor and Graça. We will now, it was our last presentation, so now we are open for some words and for some discussion topics about these presentations. So please, if you want to say something, you can do that now. As you've noticed, now we are going to finish this project, so it would be also a great idea for some of you to say some words regarding what you think it was your personal awareness of the project, and what were the best practices that you've learned regarding this kind of innovation and pedagogical innovation issues. Who wants to start? Well, we should do some ice breaking now, please. I'll start with Claudia. Claudia, tell me, what do you think it was this, well, I know you will talk about our boot camps, and
yes,
it was great.
It was very positive.
So, yes, please.
But this type of innovation, this different way of working, it's very welcome. Because it's not because it's challenging, because it makes us think out of the box. It was already said also, and we need to work sometimes in a different way to be ready to implement with our students. And in this Demola project, as we were practicing with a short team, I think for me, I will be more able to apply also this type of new strategies, could be part of it in my curricular units. Okay, I will speak less and give more what if questions for them to think about. So it's like small strategies that are important for us to learn also. It's an upgrade. We need this.
Yeah.
It's good. It's very good.
Thank you. Someone else?
Yes, I want to add something to the last sentence of Claudia, that working with the different subjects, the different topics, that is not from our basis, our normal knowledge that we transmit at EPS. I think it challenges to get new information, new knowledge, and to transmit them in the right way. So I think it takes us from our comfort zone. And I think we get better if we engage in the projects like this. I think this is the future. And also working with other people, we just work with Portuguese teachers, but also it would be interesting to do it with other colleagues from other places in Europe. And I think it could improve our skills and our capacities, and to try to figure out new ways to challenge our students and to improve their skills, and to enjoy AI in my subject and the evolution of the new technologies, and bring all the benefits to the higher education system. I think we have to do something different, and the things that we all already do it better. So I think Demola was good on this in my personal perspective. So thank you, Nuna, for your support during these weeks. Okay.
Thank you, Luis, for your words. Who else wants to talk a little bit about this experience?
Maybe I can say something.
Yes, Aldina, please.
Yeah, hello again. I was thinking that in our course, in our bachelor, we are already experimented to be facilitators and so on. The new thing for me, it was very challenging. It was to have different kind of students. I used to have physiotherapy students in one tutorial class, for instance. But in this project, we had students from different schools, although they were all of them from IPS, but still from different areas, from technology, informatics, bioinformatics, and so on, different mindsets. And it was quite difficult to motivate them, to understand them, and to make sure they were happy while working, because I believe we can be more motivated if we like what we are doing, and to be happy with what we are doing and producing. So it was kind of very challenging to make them be happy working and to achieve very good results. For me, it was totally new and new experience, and I learned a lot with them. So that's it. And of course, the boot camps and so on, but yeah.
Thank you, Aldina.
Just one more thing. It was also very important to realize that even being positive, we have to implement to our students the positivism. The platform was great, and sometimes if someone was missing, it was also a good strategy to let us implement. And okay, it's not, can I speak in Portuguese? It's just because my assim, não é pela negativa, não, quando falhamos, não temos a oportunidade de voltar a fazer, se for o implemento. Portanto, aparece sempre também como uma forma positiva de estimular o contacto. We don't want them to give up, we want them to continue, and come on, it's always positive when we meet with our partners. It's always like, okay, so this is a difficulty, how can we do to overcome it? It's good, it was good.
Yes, to have a balance between provoke them, but don't lose them.
Yes.
Sometimes it's okay, give some message and still keep them with you. It was challenging.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of work to do now, but come on, you can do it and don't give up.
Yes, that's it. So who else wants to say some words?
I can say I'm a student.
Yes, Ines.
Good morning. I'm sorry, very late. Something happened, so sorry. But I want to say something. The professors experienced the boot camp, and we students, we saw something. And I think that the experiences the students can also experience, because it's very interactive, and I think that experiences it will be more more practice. And
I completely agree with you, Ines. The only problem here is the logistic problem. That is, we have to go to many places, and if we have many students, it would be, well, quite difficult to manage everything. But yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Who else wants to say something?
Just one thing, two things. First of all, I agree with Ines. We should extend the boot camps to the students, not all of them, but one or two in the project. And I agree also and reinforce about with Claudia, the platform. I love the platform. It's very intuitive. It works very, very well for us and for the students.
Thank you, Jose. Well, I would say that we are just, it's noon, so we are just at the end of this workshop. Luisa, do you want to say some words?
Yes, I would like to thanks again for all and the opportunity to share these ideas, and I hope that in the future projects we can continue this Demola project, and that you could apply this methodology in your classes and also share with other colleagues, because it is the idea that we had with this project. And thanks for all.
Okay, so
Thank
I would
you.
like to thank you all, and we will meet and see each other in presential mode all over our Polytechnic campus. And that is one of the best things we had. Also, that was we met lots and lots of colleagues, and now we know much better ourselves. Okay, so thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Nice week for you.
Bye-bye.